have never stopped, even when I think that I'm the best at something.
I feel there's always a very special joy in trying harder. I have truly enjoyed the journey of everything that I have done and accomplished, and when it's done, it just ends there. And so the next venture, the next speaking assignment, the next book project becomes even more precious because I know that I have a limited time on that journey. So I try to pack as much as I can into that project, into that goal. I try to put in all of my time, my energy, my effort, my passion, my money, my attention, because I want to make that experience, that journey memorable. I want to create wonderful memories for my future self so that when I look back, I am empowered to aim higher, to become better. I would say if you want to create an empowering future, create a commendable past that you can draw inspiration from. Well, competition for me is a very limited mindset where it takes the focus away from being a better person, a better artist, a better businessman, and it takes the focus to beating the other person. I have never looked at what another motivational speaker is doing or what they are charging and tried to make adjustments in my own work or my own pricing. I speak on subjects that touch my heart. I speak on topics that have empowered me, that have made me a better person. And with that as a testimony, I stand to tell people that if I can, you can too. And then I decide my own worth and set my own price. Now, how can you beat something which is not decided, which is not controlled by the market, by the economy, by the demand, but by the voice of your own heart? That is an unbeatable place. Look at all the great leaders. I mean, there is one for every cause. They took up something that concerned them, that moved them, that tugged at their soul, and they followed that urge. And that's how they led humanity to a better world each time. I believe that competition and comparisons create lies and will misguide you and mislead you every single time. When I was young, we moved from Chandigarh to Bombay, and I went to the new school in Bombay, and I was always a top ranker. Up until then, I knew who I was and I never had to worry about anybody beating me. But for the first time, when I came to Bombay and it was a class full of 45 students, I went to the top ranker and I did a little competition analysis. So I asked her, how many hours do you study in a day after school? And she said 8 hours. And I was like, oh my God, that's what I got to beat, to study 8 hours after school. And if you have been a top ranker at anything, my condolences with you, because you and your God knows what all you had to sacrifice to get to those numbers. Whether they were worth it or not is a whole different question, but I feel for you. So I was already a top ranker who now, through the competition analysis, has to put in 8 hours of study after school to beat her. So what did I do? I studied 8 hours after school, and I created that year and the years after historical record in school, which today is unbeaten to a point of 99.5% as an average of all subjects the marks scored. Now, the truth was this: when it was the results day, the mother of that girl who was the top ranker then, now no more, came to me and asked me, Priya, how many hours do you study a day? And I said, Auntie, I study 8 hours after school. And one whack she gave to her daughter saying, look, she studies 8 hours, you don't even study 2. Now here's the thing, my competition lied to me. She told me she studies 8 hours, she was only studying 2. But look, I got the 99.5, I created a record. Even till today in my school, my name is written in gold. But in doing that, I lost myself, I lost my friends, I lost playtime. And that's a lot to lose when you are a child. I have no friends from school because I never had the time. Now, if you ask me that when I go back, Let's say I had a time machine and I could go back in time and live my childhood all over again. Would I do that? And I mean, I don't need to answer it. You already know it's a no. You get into the competition, you get into this beating business, and you'll be left with nothing except sore hands and sore eyes and time gone in doing something which you wouldn't do another time. Because you see, the competition, the kind of perception that they put out, they will never tell you the truth. And in trying to beat them, you will only beat yourself down. Anything that I do, anything that I take up, I look at it from two lenses. Whenever I take up a project or I indulge in something, it doesn't matter what magnitude the project is or what potential it holds. I always ask myself two questions. One is, do I love this? Does even thinking about this project make my heart swell? Does it give me sleepless nights because I can't stop thinking about it? If the answer is yes, it's a yes all the way. And second is, what is it worth to me? Let's say I made no money out of it. Look, I'm still paying a price. Even if I had no income, even if I broke even, I invested myself. I invested my energy, my time, and reset my priorities. And even if it did not meet up, at least to financial expectations, would I still be happy? And every single time I have answered yes, I have been so happy doing what I have done, whether or not it made me money. And that project has always served as a benchmark which the competition can never touch, because they look at it and say, but how does it make business sense? But how does it make financial sense? Well, it doesn't. And that's why it's untouchable. Now, I'm not recommending that you do projects which don't make money, but do projects that people can never duplicate. Now that is creating a dent, and then have backup plans to make your money like I do. And of course, I would look at what other people are doing to learn from them, to improvise on what I am doing, but not with the malicious intent to beat them. And every single time I have learned from somebody, I have gone back and shared with them what I did and what worked for me to add value back to them. Because I learned, because I borrowed, because I grew. So I keep the cycle going, but not in a competitive way. In that way, we all grow, the industry grows, and we all win. And you know what? There are people who don't need to run someone by, because they're not running their race. They're on their own path and their own journey. And I always write this message in my books, and it is a befitting end to this little chat, that let your purpose be your guiding force. So until next Friday, I will see you again.